Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to another weekly replay with me, Hijak, and today I am bringing you the newly released Bourrasque from the French medium tank line. This is a reward tank that was given out on the last mission marathon, which happened at the end of February. And the way a mission marathon works is there's 10 levels. As you get to each level, you get a 10% discount on purchasing the tank. If you get to the 10th level, you get the tank for free. Now, I did buy this tank at level 7, so whatever, I spent a little bit of money, but it was worthwhile. Now, this tank is a medium tank, but it has some characteristics of a light tank. It is fast in its travel speed and whatnot, but it does not turn very well at all. So it has some downfalls. So its reload is 20 seconds with a 2-second intershell clip reload. So this was the second match I've played, and here we are on the map, my favorite, Prokhorovka, and it's an all tier 8 match, so it's all fairly even matchmaking. And as you can see, I've come over to the C1 bush here, and a lot of my team is going down the forestry road here, and I'm going to try and take a shot at this BatChat 12T. As you can see, it misses. And another downfall to this tank is the gun bloom is quite large, which is that circle. And the aim time is just over 3 seconds, so it's a little bit slow when compared to other French medium and other medium tanks in the game in general. But this does not seem to, while it is a downfall of the tank itself is still quite fun to play. Now, as I said, this was the second match I played in this tank. And I'm trying to take a shot on this BatChat 12T. I've auto-aimed, and we're going to wait for that crosshair to line up, and boom, there we go, 356 damage. So yeah, so it has, like I mentioned before, a 2-shot clip. Each shot average damage is about 360, giving you a total of about 780 damage that you can use to your advantage. Now, it does have a 20-second reload, so it's not super speedy to reload, but it isn't super slow either. So it's kind of a nice little hit-and-run ninja tank. It's got the best view range of any medium tank in the game at 390 meters base. And there you go. I tracked that to T32 with a wild shot, and you can see the bloom letting me down there. And missed and hit the dirt on the second shot. What was I saying? A spotting range. So the V range is 390 base, and with some good crew skills and vents and coated optics as equipment, you can get some pretty significant spotting range in your tank, and becomes a very good spotting light tank at that point, right? Even though it's still a medium tank. So our Canaverin is being an idiot and pushing completely down the 2 line, and he's about to die because he's not really spotting things for our team because none of us are in position to shoot them. And there we go, he's dead. So at this point, if you look at the map, you can see there's a whole bunch of tanks down the 1, 2, 3 lines down in the KJ area, and we've lost the hill over on the 0 line. So I'm gonna pull forward, thinking I was gonna get some nice shots on some stuff like the Charioteer. I took 2 hits on the M4A1 Ravalorise, but as you can see, I'm not really gonna get too much more from the 1, 2, 3 line at this point. I was thinking of moving to the center a bit and getting some shots on the guys as they poke the center, like the Lance and C and the Defender. But on the other side of the map is where the issues are going to be. We have a VK4502 and an SU130 PM, and that is it compared to the Bourrasque on the enemy team and the AT-15 and everybody else that's over there. Oh no, that's an AMX, sorry. So I noticed the Bourrasque is making a push down the railroad cars, so I'm going to fall back here and take up a position probably on the A line in order to shoot them as they were to pop over the road. He is full health, just like me, so it's going to be a good trade-off. So the 4502A and the SU-130 are pretty much outnumbered at this point, even though the Bourrasque, and there you go, Centurion 1 was spotted. So our other Bourrasque on the team is zipping up there at full tilt. He's going to pop over the tracks and engage the enemy Bourrasque, which he did. He took a shot, and I took an arty hit in exchange for coming up to help, because why not? So Centurion 1, I've auto-locked. I take 1 shot and 2 shots, and it bounces. Very disappointing. auto aim for the win. So I've done 1,037 damage at this point. But I did get 427 spotting assist from the artillery smacking that Centurion 1 there. So now my plan is to poke over this railroad track, spot the Centurion 7-1 again, and at the same time I also spotted the 50 TP. Now I did kill the Centurion 1 with a nice side shot, and the second shot on the 50 TP just bounces harmlessly off his front armor. So now I'm on a reload. It's time for me to get out of dodge because I cannot face a 50 TP alone. He will eat me for breakfast, and I'm not interested in that. So the enemy Lance and Sea has pushed up to the middle, and they have a defender as well, and the SU-101 in the far bottom one line. At this point, we are down by 2 tanks, which does not look like we're in very good positioning. So I'm going to do a little bit of a handbrake turn and sit in this bush, protecting the the A line from the 50 TP as he pokes over the railroad tracks, because that's what they got to do if they want to come to us. We're all on this side. They have to poke over the railroad tracks at the AB6 marker. Now, a lot of people hate this map just for the fact that it's a lot of camping and whatnot. And there's this 50 TP, but I went for the reload, so I'm unable to shoot because I'm on the middle of reload. People hate this map because it's a lot of camping. People stay back, there's no pushes, blah, 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 blah. But I think this map is probably the best map in the game. For one, it's wide open. So if you're playing artillery or a light tank, it's wide open. There's no cover, no serious hard cover to sit around and never get spotted and blah, 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 blah. I love this map. You can have a lot of fun. There's a lot of bushes for soft cover, giving you camouflage. And goodbye 50 TP. And yeah, it's just a well-balanced map in general, I find. There's no one position that's super powerful. It's all basically teamwork on this map. You have to have good spotting tanks to spot the enemy camping down in the bottom there or on the top. You got to have good ridgeline warriors. You got to have good guys on the hill. You got to have good artillery if you've got it. It's just a huge mash of great teamwork that makes this map a good one. So there we go. I'm go over to spot again on the 6th line, and I spotted a Pantera, P44 Pantera, and the AMX 5100, and they're going to come over the ridge line. I get stunned by Artie and tracked by the Pantera, and I'm trying to remove myself from the match. I put 2 shots into the Pantera, one of them misses, and I'm just trying to get out of dodge while I still have 119 hit points left in my tank before I die. We've got a whole bunch of other guys still camping the back. We just lost our STRVS1, who was decided to be the forward scout for the team. And there's the Egg Tiger 88 back there, and he's outside my draw range. And then the 2 guys on the A6, B6. So again, I'm going to sit in these trees and bushes and spot that railroad crossing, because chances are they will cross over there. We're down 8 to 9, so we're only down by 1. So we were down by 2, we pulled it back, we're down by 1. And this is where the part that people hate is the waiting game. So there's the 5100. He's moved down to the center. I had a shot, I took it, but the P44 on our team took him out instead. The Charioteer kills our SU-101, and there's the SU-101. And again, I went for the reload at the wrong time, and I'm missing the shots on the SU-101, so Pantera kills him as well. That's the difference between an Italian auto reloader and the French auto loader. The auto reloaders constantly get new shells loaded in, whereas the auto reloader, you have to either manually reload or empty your clip. So again, we're still down by 1 tank. It's now 10 to 11. And we're going to see what happens here. We've got the P44, the Bourrasque, and myself, and an SU-14-2. So the P44 has the most health of everybody. No, sorry. The Bourrasque has the most health of everybody with 676. The P44 and myself are both one-shots with just under... I'm at 119. The P44 is at 204 hit points. So not looking the greatest right at this point. I'm still wondering if that P44 is over the train tracks at B6. And I'm not too sure what is going to happen at this point. I am camping, of course, as long as we are. We're in nice defensive positions, waiting. Pause. So we're in nice camping positions here, and we're going to just stay hidden, because if you get spotted, chances are you're going to get shot. So we'll see what happens at this point. You can see I keep turning the turret back around to A6, B6 to see if that P44 is going to pop over. Our other Bourrasque is just sitting in the bushes. Same with the P44. Because you know that they're pushing up the 1 line right now and the 2 line. And they're going to have cover from the bushes that are on the road. So you just got to be vigilant, and make sure that we're prepared for anything. Now I'm kind of sitting on the north-south direction with the back of my tank towards the K line, because if I get spotted, I need to be able to make a quick getaway. And my plan would be to drive forward towards the A line and then turn to the right or the left. So I'm still thinking that they're going to be pushing up the 2 line here. So yeah, this is where it gets a little bit slow, obviously, because things are just, we're just waiting. But on this map, patience is key. And you play a bunch of matches and you'll see so many people they just YOLO down the road because they're bored, they want to do something else, they want to go back to the garage and get another tank and blah, 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 blah. But patience is the key that wins this map. If you don't have patience, you're going to lose. Maybe not 100% of the time, but there's always that 1 or 2% chance that if you all push down together, you just massacre everybody. But patience is key. And there's the BatChat Bourrasque gets spotted. The Pantera moves. Bourrasque shoots. And the Bourrasque's dead. There's their Leo. I take 1 shot. He's dead. Oh, sorry, that was the Egg Tiger. He gets shot. Now I notice the Bourrasque is getting hit, but I'm not sure from where. So I'm asking him, where are you getting shot from? And there he dies. So the Charioteer killed the Bourrasque. So I type in chat, where did you get shot from? Where from, B? And he says, and he's pinged E7 before I even finished asking. So that's where the enemies are. They're over in B7. Sorry, E7. In the center there. And he says P44 and Charioteer. Which leaves 3 tanks in the game. So it's now, we're still down by 1. In that flurry of activity there, did you notice that the RSU 14-2, our artillery, was killed by counter battery fire? Some things happen really quick. So the Pantera on our team has decided to push down the 2 line for some odd reason, and I decide that if he's going to go alone, it'd be a bad idea. So I decide to help him, because if he's going to go, he's going to die. And he did. And he spots the Charioteer. So I aim in. I've got this big bloom. I take the shot and kill the Charioteer for 79 damage. Woohoo! Nice big 79 damage. Now that's the thing, is I find even though the dispersion value on this tank is big, sometimes the snapshots help. Notice that our base is being captured, so I quickly turn around and need to return to the base to spot the the enemy artillery. So 1 shot, 2 shot, the Pantera gets spotted. I reverse to get out of the way. He misses because this tank is a nice low profile. I auto aim and needing my reload to finish. I zip down the slope here, knowing that I can get a little bit of time. He's gonna chase though, but he's a 1 shot. I take it, and that wins the match, 15-14 for my team. So in the end of that match, that was my 2nd match overall, and I got Mastery Badge 3rd class, Fire for Effect Fighter, Spotter, Duelist, and Bruiser, and 14,706 credits. Or sorry, 14,706 experience with 89,700 credits. 2646 for damage, 1468 for spotting, and 4 kills. So overall, not a bad match. Okay, match number 2 in the Bourrasque. We are on the map Airfield. And it is an all tier 8 match once again. Well, no, it's not all tier 8, sorry, my bad. It's a tier 8-7 match. So far, the matchmaking I've had. This is the 4th match I played in this tank. So the 2nd and the 4th match have been really good matchmaking. So I'm not going to complain about that. So I'm going to drive through these buildings nice and slowly because it slows you down. Why not? And because I'm a medium tank, I like to go to the medium tank spot over in E5. So as my tank builds up some speed. So I'm going to come up this slope here, and I like this little ledge for a medium tank, especially on this side of the map, because it gives you a nice vantage point over for where the enemies are. So I'm going to try and aim in on that IS, but he moves behind cover before I can get a nice clean shot at his cupola or turret. But lots of other tanks get spotted, so there's the enemy Bourrasque. I put 2 shots into him, taking him down 674 points of damage. And I fell back for the reload. Now we've got the Lance and C in the middle and the WZ111. So Lance and C pops out. I've reloaded. I put 1 shot. Put 2 shots into him for 786 damage and fall back for the reload as he misses his shot. So, and I get spotting on the WZ131 now. Benefit of this tank is it's got a really good view range, so I happen to spot the Lao sitting in the back over there, so I pull forward, reloaded now, and I put 1 shot into him and wait for the dispersion to put 2 shots into him for 760 points of damage. So all in all, so far, sitting at 2,220 net points of damage, and I haven't really done a lot. And I still got the spotting damage on that Lao, as I'm the only one that spotted him, somehow. Out of all the tanks in the game, he's the one I spotted, so whatever. Lanson keeps trying to poke on me, which is fine. I'm ready for him to poke the bush. But I'm not going to leave that Lao just sitting there, so I'm going to put 1 shot into him again, and he gets behind cover of that rocks. And I've got just a sliver of his tank, but nothing really that's going to help. So notice the Lanson still trying to poke the bush. So let's see if he's going to keep doing that for me or not. And the Lao finally gets killed. I've still got 1 shell on the clip. And I'm probably thinking at this point in time it's a good chance for a reload, since I have no targets to shoot. Sitting in a good spot though with nice concealment. Still haven't taken the reload yet. It's funny when you watch these replays back. It's like, oh, I should have taken the reload. There we go. I took the reload finally. And falling back just to get myself already safe and whatnot. And try spotting some more, obviously. But it's just better if I just sit in cover and wait for my reload to finish. Enemy Bourrasque pulls forward on the far side there, and they're just going to get in trouble from the arty. And our Lance and C killed our 1357F. I was hoping to catch one of them coming up on the edge there, but nothing was showing up. Now, I've watched this replay, I think this is the 2nd time I've watched it now. And I think about the different things that I could have done differently, and you'll see a big mistake that I make coming up a little bit later on. So there is the Panther. I take 1 shot into him, he gets tracked, I take the 2nd shot and hit him again. So at 760 damage, I've dished out to the Panther. A little bit of trouble turning around off that rock, because this thing turns like crap. It's the one downfall of this tank that I really hate, is the crap turning radius of the tank. The dispersion doesn't bother me that much. Yes, it can be frustrating, but you know, all the guns are inaccurate to certain points. So I see this Lance and C, he's poking right there. Like, I've got a perfect shot on his turret. Try one on the Panther. But I don't really see much, but he dies. And then the Lanson pulls forward and pulls back, and I take a shot and miss. So okay. Gun dispersion sucked there really bad. It was a perfect side shot on the Lanson and missed. And hopefully he doesn't poke too much. He's going to poke right now. I'm in the middle of a reload. Come on, reload. Come on, reload. And I get reloaded, and he pokes, and he dies. Look at that. Perfect shot. I love it. So I'm up to 3,494 damage so far. No kills. Or, sorry, 1 kill, which isn't bad. And the enemy Bourrasque gets spotted on the far side. I've got a nice clean shot, and the gun dispersion lets me down for a second time. So I'm going to fall back because I was spotted. Take out that tower. And then I notice the T-29 is pushed way up, and I'm like, oh crap. And I'm on the reload. I've got to get myself safe. So I hide behind this little crevice here, knowing that he can easily hurt me quite badly. So he goes dark because I'm not spotting him anymore because I'm behind the rock. I get our rocket's already, so I pop out, spot him. He's at 769. First shot bounces. Second shot hits. No pen. And I'm going to get out of dodge because I'm not safe there with him sitting there. So I'm going to fall back and reload, obviously, since I fired both my shots. Some spotting damage from the E-25. And I'm going to fall back. And I'm looking at the map, and I see the Bourrasque on the enemy team has flown down the KJ line. So I'm going to head over there. And our friendly T-34-1 is already pinging me to go there. And I press the affirmative button. Let them know, yep, I saw it. And I'm headed there now. So the speed and mobility of this tank is one thing I really quite like. It makes it easy to reposition quite nicely to go from position A to B around the map without worrying about it too much. Everything's quite quick. So come around this rock bend here, thinking the Bourrasque is going to be there. And there he is. I get spotted. I auto-aim. He fires once and hits me. I fire once and hit him. And I spin around and take him out of the match. So there we go. So there's 2 on their enemy Bourrasque, taking him out. I'm up to now 4,070 damage. Now I've got my eyes set on that BatChat Bourrasque. Our T-34-1 has called for SOS. Help me, help me. Knowing that the Bourrasque's up there. And I'm going to see if I can get some rear shots on the Bourrasque. But I decided not to go up that slope. And I happened to spot the AMX 1357 and take him out. Because he did not see me at all. So that was a lucky shot. So now to help the T-34-1 with the Bourrasque. So I'm going to move over to his position to help him out because the Bourrasque is over in the center there. But I had a bad feeling about this, and I just didn't feel like going up that part was going to be a smart move. So I'm going to fall back a bit. And then I noticed the T-28 prototype and the T-29 are against our T-26E4 all by himself. There's a WZ-131 of ours in the back, not doing a whole lot of anything. But that T-28 could really hurt our T-26E4, and he needs our help. So I'm going to just creep up this slope here, and I spot the T-28, and he spots me, of course. The T-28 prototype's only at 126 hit points, so he's a one-shot for me. I just need to land one shot. Try to get his snipe his cupola, but he hits me and damages my track with no damage. Tried his lower plate, it bounced, so I'm like, nope, I'm getting out because he could definitely almost one-shot me, so better to fall back. The T-26E4 has successfully taken out the T-29 heavy tank, so he's okay now. And I'm worried about the D-25 just getting away, so I'm going to try and see if I can spot him and see if he can't get taken out of the match as well. The BatChat Bourrasque is still towards the center, but it hasn't been spotted in a little while, and the T-34-1 is still good to spot him. T-28 sees me in the T-26E4 over there, and he decides to YOLO through there, and the T-26E4 takes him out. Or Patriot, I guess is what it's called. So now we're just left with the BatChat Bourrasque, who gets spotted. I take one shot, it misses. I take a second shot, it misses. And here's where my mistake comes. For some reason, I thought I could drive down this rocky slope here. And as you can see, going slow doesn't matter. I clip the edge, and 4,314 points of damage down the drain when I should have had at least 5,000. You know, I could have easily helped take out that BatChat Bourrasque, who now takes out our T-34-1. Feel so bad for doing that. And that was a Mastery Badge 2nd class with a tank sniper. Sorry, Fire for Effect, Master Gunner, and Bruiser, as well as High Caliber, for doing 4,313 damage, which was the most in the entire match. Unfortunately, we lost. The Patriot, or T-26E4, couldn't keep the E-25 at bay, and eventually died to him. So here's match number 3 of the Bourrasque triple header. This one is on the map Kharkov, and it is a 8-7-6 match. So again, a really good matchmaking. And I am going to head towards one of my favorite spots, which is over in DE1 there. But I'm going to stop at the slope on BC23. Now you can see with me we've got an AMX 1375 and a Cromwell B. All 3 really fast tanks, and they're faster than me apparently, so it's interesting. Now, this map has basically 2 spots where fighting takes place. You've got the 1, 2, 3 lines, where a lot of the mediums and lights go, and then you've got the 8, 9, 0 lines, which is where the heavies usually go. So we've got our 1375 and our Cromwell B. They're going up to spot the guys at H2, H3. And I do a little trick that I learned from watching a Quickie Baby video, and that is to reverse into my position in order to get a quick getaway. So I try to reverse in on that Type 64, but I get spotted by the enemy Bourrasque, and I'm like, nope, getting away. So that was the quick trick, is you flip around with the handbrake, and then you back into your position. And then when you need to run, you're already facing the right direction. You can get away quicker, because reversing in this tank is a lot slower. Try to snapshot on the Bourrasque, but he pens me from his little sneaky spot, and I have to spot the Leo. So I'll just let artillery take the enemy Bourrasque out and down in hit points and get the spotting assist for it. So again, I'm trying just to get the Bourrasque to poke and trying my best to stay out of everybody's way. The Cromwell B gets taken out by artillery, so he was focused out, which was unfortunate at the best, but it happens. I am trying to get to a good spotting position over here, and I noticed the 1375 had just taken that spot, so I fall back, and we're going to try the reversing thing again to see if I can get on that Chi Ray. Auto aim, he fire 1, he hits the dirt, I fire 2, he hits me, and I'll just drive away. I get a splash by Artie, but no damage. And he gets taken out. And the Bourrasque hits me for 1. And he derps the second one, so I'll just turn around and see if I can't help take him out of the match. So he gets splashed by Artie and disappears. So Kharkov is kind of an interesting map in the fact that, again, it's fairly open, but there are quite a lot of buildings and cover in the town. But it is a fun map. It is one of the ones I like to play on as well, just like Prokhorovka. So the AMX 1375 has spotted the enemy Bourrasque and is keeping him lit, the Leo. But they're behind that little slope over there, so I have no shots. I've fallen back a bit, and there's an SU-100, which I take 1 shot. Second shot bounces, of course. He has on 84 hit points, so why not give me not the kill, right? But that enemy Bourrasque, he gets spotted by the 1375, and he just takes a pounding. So I'm going to just do a couple maneuvers here to try and get myself back to being unspotted and sit back in the bush and hope that I can shoot something that gets spotted, like the Leo. 1375 is doing an amazing job spotting those guys over there. But he doesn't have a whole lot of hit points anymore, so he can't do a whole lot. And I'm still worried about that 1371 CMCD in the middle trenchy area, as well as the T150, who's now pushing towards our base. He's not going to be a threat, though. You're going to see in a little bit just exactly what happens with our team of their heavy tanks that are going to base. So there's the T150. He's falling back. I totally forgot I did this, but I've got a nice shot on the back of his tank. So first shot tracks him because of the gun dispersion. Second shot tracks him because of the gun dispersion, but I managed to get some spotting assist or tracking assist out of that in the end. So the enemy T71 CMCD is still floating around in those little trenchy things there. And he's down to 25 hit points, so he got splashed by Artie. And the enemy Leo is still over there on the E1, F1 area. Game is currently tied at 6-6, so we've managed to keep it even throughout the entire match. But as you can see, we've lost all our heavies in the town. They have 3 tanks now in the town. Super Hellcat, ML1, and the T-34-85M with the T-71 CMCD in the trenches. We've got an E-25 who's YOLOing down the 0 line. I don't know why. He's all alone. He's isolated. He's just obviously going to be hunting for Artie. Most of our stuff is conglomerated towards the back of the map here, but we've got good hull down defensive positions because we are up by 1 tank. But is that going to last? E-75 kills 1 of the enemy artillery out of the 3 that are in the match. And it's time for me to fall back and move into position to do some damage on some of these tanks. But I noticed the ML1 all of a sudden gets spotted right by the base cap, and he's at full health. So I quickly do an about face instead of charging into the Leo and the Bourrasque. It's time to go take on that ML1 because he's the most dangerous threat currently because he's got the most hit points. At least that was my thinking at the time. E25 kills the Super Hellcat. We're now 9-6, so we're up by 4. Sorry, we're up by 3. Can't count. And then ML1 is playing that center trench quite nicely. No shots at him, but I do notice the enemy Bourrasque is making a push out in the open. But I have no gun depression at my current angle, so I need to reposition in order to get some shots on him. I do a double think about it because the ML is there, but I think the Bourrasque is a better tank to take out. I take my 2 shots, both of them miss because he's driving, and go for the reload. But the Bourrasque is now at 60 hit points, and the T-34-85M gets spotted as well over by our base cap. So this is turning to a really bad situation quite rapidly. We're only up by 1. Oh, now we're up by 2 because the E-25 has killed the second Artie out of the 3. All by himself in the back of the map. The ML is still at the trench. The enemy Bourrasque spots me coming up towards our slope. So I need to make a move now because he's at 60 hit points and I could easily die to him with 330. But he's not looking at me, so I right click and kill him. And now I've got to deal with that Leo because I'm out in the open and get spotted. So I take a shot, it misses for the reload. I get some spotting damage from the ML. Leo puts 147 damage into me, damaging my track. So I quickly repair some more spotting damage on the ML1. And I'm going to reload now and go towards getting the Leo out of the match. So that leaves just the ML1 and the T-34-85M to go. Leo is not looking at me. So I'll take 1 shot and 2 shots to take him out. I love the double shot on this thing. That leaves T-34-85M, ML1, and the enemy artillery. And the 2 guys were spotted at our base last, and they're gone dark. I see the Leo on our side and the E-25 pushing towards the enemy base, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll go help them cap. And then I'm like, nah, if the enemies were spotted last at our base, we probably need to worry about resetting the base. The GW Tiger P is asking for somebody to come back as well because they know they're sitting ducks. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? He's right. And then they're like, would somebody come back and spot the base? And I'm like, yep, I'll come. Because the best play is not to sit there and cap the enemy base, but to come back and get the guys who are still sitting at our base. Because they could easily kill Artie and then come and kill us at the base, right? So I decide to take the scenic route because why drive straight to someplace and get spotted when you can take a more roundabout way. Don't forget, the tank speed on the Bourrasque is quite nice. The enemy T-34-85M has fallen back through the town to go and reset the base cap, which is a good play for him because we are up by 4 tanks. So I still don't know where the ML is, and that's the thing I am concerned about. So I'm keeping my eye on that T-34-85M, wondering where the ML1 is, thinking he'd driven back through the field at the 5-line field. And circling around this building, I spot him, and he's at 153 hit points. I didn't know it was at the time, so I just happened to take a snapshot on him, and it took him out. And I was very surprised. I was happy, That leaves one enemy tank left at T-3485M. I know where he is. I know where I need to go. So the quickest way to get there, because if he gets a base cap reset, it could change the match. I'm going to take the trench because that's the most covered way to get there. It gives me the most cover and the quickest route. So we'll just drive through this trench. I do love the speed of this tank. Now, as I get close to his previously spotted location, I am wondering if I'm going to proxy spot him and light him up. So I'm concerned right at this point that he could be spotted. But he isn't spotted. We're going to win in 30 seconds. But he's spotted at the back there. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Already hits him twice for no stun. And I'm like, well, screw capping the base. I'm going to go after him. He's at 228 hit points. So he's a one-shot for me. Even if I low roll, he's a one-shot. Problem is, so am I. So I got to make this one count. Right click, left click before you can aim. And boom. We win. 15-9. So 1900 damage even with 1050 spotting assists. That gives me Master Badge 3rd class, Reaper, Spotter, Fighter for the 4 kills, Duelist, and Fire for effect once again. 102,000 credit profit with 5,393 experience because, hey, there's a ×5 victory XP. So why not? I hope you enjoyed watching these 3 replays for the Bourrasque. It was fun doing them. I release a new video each and every Sunday, so please click the subscribe button down below and never miss one of my videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Leave a comment. You know, all the normal stuff. And I hope to see you again next week. Take care.